Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Sherlockian interview. Very special one this evening. We're speaking to Ibrahim Gailani. Hi, where are you dialing in from?
Hi, I'm dialing in from Oman, my home, and I'm actually standing in my art studio.
Fantastic. I guess it's an artist interview, so we should jump straight into your art. Let's take a look at some of your art. Tell us a little bit about these pieces.
Well, before I go into that, I'll just tell you that I love to paint faces because faces tell story about people's struggles, their hopes and dreams, and sometimes their disillusionment. So that's what I try to do is tell a story with a face. And these faces are really significant to me and my art journey. The first one that you see with the man with the eyes closed is actually called The Refugee. And it was inspired during the height of the Syrian refugee crisis, which it had become so political around the world. And what I wanted to do is, hang on, these are human beings. Let's put the focus back on them. So this painting I did as a tribute to the strife of the refugees, and their thoughts are actually graffitied at the background. The second piece of work is actually, it's called The Seeking Lips, and it's about the love that got away. And when you will go to the ends of the world to find that one love, that one true love, no matter how many flights you take, no matter what, but you know that that person who got away was really the one for you. So you're seeking that true love. And the third one is my hero, the Mexican artist Frida Kahlo. And this painting was inspired at the time of the Me Too movement, because Frida Kahlo was, in my opinion, one of the first feminists who really broke barriers. And in this painting, she's shattered glass, and there are strips which say that they wanted to control my thoughts, but I broke free. They wanted to control my ideas, I broke free, and they wanted to control my speech, and I broke free. So I wanted to use the strength of Frida Kahlo and to remind or pay a tribute to the women's struggles that have happened.
Fantastic. And we've got three more of the pieces here.
Yes, so these faces are interesting. The first one is the one with the blue is victory at all costs. And it's really about when life is really tough and you're not nurtured so correctly, and you let the evil take over. So there's this vindictive face, and I wanted to deep go into what is behind that stern face, what is behind that killer instinct that sometimes develops in the harshest of conditions, and what could have happened if this person was nurtured. The next one with the red child is called Determined Hope. It's about when you've really had a tough childhood and when you've been written off and you look at the world and you say, watch me, I'm going to show you where I am. And you have that ridiculous determination to prove everybody wrong. And that was the tribute to that. And the last one is an indigenous space, which I painted for Art Vancouver. And I wanted to talk about, it's called The Frozen Beating Heart. And in this icy world, which tells you that there is no love, there's this person who believes that, yes, they will find true love. And their heart still bleeds, and they're filled with red love inside them in this sometimes cold world.
Fantastic. And we're going to bring in, at this point, Phil Growick to tell us a little bit about the project which we've collaborated on together called The Art of Sherlock Holmes. Phil.
Thank you, Steve, and thank you, Gailani. I was very lucky. I'm a Sherlock Holmes author. Steve in MX Publishing has published a few of my books. I'm also the chair of Art in Public Places for West Palm Beach in Florida. I wanted to bring the two worlds together, art and Sherlock Holmes. I spoke with Steve and gave him the idea of what if we have short stories and we have artists render their ideas of what the stories would be. Steve immediately picked up on it. So we were lucky enough, we did Sherlock Holmes, the art from West Palm Beach. Then we didn't stop there. I went to the United States. Then we didn't stop there. We went to Global Edition 1, and then finally Global Edition 2. Luckily enough, I was able to connect with Gailani, whose beautiful piece is one of the centerpieces of Global Edition 2. There you have it in a nutshell.
Thanks, Phil. And as you mentioned, Global Edition 2 has a whole bunch more art from all over the world. In fact, 13 pieces from all of these different countries. So you can see Oman proudly listed there. And if we go to your piece, Gailani, please tell us a little bit about this. It's from a story written by author Mike Hogan.
Yes, I will actually pan to the original painting over here. And this is really inspired from the Japanese culture, because this story is written with the backdrop of Japan Cultural Festival. And I wanted to pay a tribute to that Orient era with the minimalist style of painting that they have. And I wanted to represent the opulence of the Orient with the shimmering gold at the back, and of course, the land of the rising sun with the red sun. And then there are two characters. There's the samurai, and there's a little child in the story. And I wanted the viewer to look at both these images and wonder what the child faces a little bit of an enigma. Is he thinking? What are the motivations behind him? Because he's one of the central characters in the story. And then the samurai. There's an element of strength, element of danger, element of honor, and all of those things come together in this beautifully written story. And that was the whole idea behind making this piece, to represent the story that I had.
And I'm really pleased that you panned to it and walked close to the painting, because we can get a feel for the sheer size of it. It's a very large piece.
It is
a fantastic piece.
It is 5 feet by 4 feet high. It is 130 centimeters by 150 centimeters.
That's wonderful. And if any of the fans watching would like to take a look at your piece hanging on the wall in our virtual gallery on the MX Publishing website, we have all 56 pieces of art there. Some of the originals are still available. Some of them have been sold, are in galleries or in private collections. And you can also get prints and some merchandise and collectibles from all of the prints. It's been absolutely wonderful speaking to you, Gailani and Phil. Wishing you all the best, and a big hello from London to you there in Oman.
Thank
and
you.
From West Palm Beach as well.
Yes, thank you, Steve from London, and Phil. You really, it has been a dream to work with you. You are an amazing curator,
Thank
and
you.
accomplished in so many other fields.